Okay, back with you here at the university now. So this is the University of Lisbon, and behind me is like the cultural center for they have performances and different lectures of famous scholars in the building behind me. This building, I'm in the open field where they have all kinds of concerts and such here during the school year. Let me see. Here is so you can see the entrance to the university there's that artwork there, some metal sculptures, and that signifies the beginning of the university campus. And then this over here across the field is the law school. So they call it Faculdade de Leis, which is laws in Portuguese. And then, as I said, the performance center and the cultural center. And then this is where I go to school. This is Faculdade de Letras. So what that is the language school. So it's anything having to do with language, all kinds of language, including Portuguese, which is, as I said, I attend the Instituto de Cultura y Língua Português, and it's a program housed in that building. I'll walk over there as we talk. The campus is almost completely empty right now because it is a federal holiday. So Portugal is like 85% Catholic. And so all of their holidays is tied to the Catholic religion. I think today is the feast of the Lady of Assumption or something like that. So so class is not going on. It would be summer classes anyway, which is really light. But my program does have summer classes, but not today. So I'll walk over there to my building and talk a little bit about what it's like to go to class. So it is 4 hours of class a day with a 20-minute intervalo in between, and you get one professor in the first 2 hours, and they're co-pairing teaching professors. And so last semester, actually 2 semesters in a row, I had Professora Gilda and her teaching husband, Professor Pedro, and they're a great team of language professors. And then, I'm just noticing this is the first time I'm really filming and my first experience on YouTube, but I'm just noticing that I am very flighty. I don't even know how I study. It's funny because I'm very focused when I want to be, but just for fun, and I'm being me, I jump around a lot because my thoughts I think way ahead of where I'm at already. I don't stay put in the present moment. So I'm going to turn around here so that you can see, this is Faculdade de Letras. This is my building that I come to 4 days a week, where I study, where I go to class. It's awesome. My classes are anywhere between 11 to 14 students in my section. If you remember college sections. And there's, I don't know how many sections there are per level of language learning. So again, you graduate from A1 into A2 into B1, and I'm finished those 3 levels, and I'm going into B2 in October. And I hear it's horrible. I hear that the grammar is really complicated, and that you have to give 1 presentation a week and you take 1 quiz a week. So I don't know how I'm going to fit all this in. And I am politically active back in the US, and so I have also joined 2 democratic groups over here, one called Forward Portugal and the other one called Democrats Abroad. So I don't know how I'm going to fit in. I'm going to walk all the way up to the steps here and just sit on okay. So I'm going to somehow have to fit in all of that. And then I work a little bit online. I'm a personal trainer online, and so the link to my personal training company, I work with a company, and the link to my profile is in the profile description. But I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in. Political activity, incredible studying and presentation preparation for class, And then on top of that, my online work that takes me an hour and a half every night to make up the workout programs for my clients. So it's going to be fun. So as you can see, as an estranged parent, going from crying all the time, and I had a really busy life on Maui. I had 5 jobs, so it wasn't like it wasn't busy. But that being said, I'm going to sit right on the steps so you have kind of more of a better view of the door, at least. And so, you know, I'm going to be, I was really busy back home, but I also was really sad. I somehow found time to be depressed despite the 5 jobs and working out every day. And here it just seems like, you know what it is there's no reminders of my son at all. There's just no reminders of him, and unless I see a group of boys getting out of school and one of them looks like my son, which a lot of them do, or, you know, just that age group that you remember your child at, and you just, it kind of flashes and all of a sudden I'm sad for a second. But outside of seeing a group of boys or a boy that looks like my son, I'm pretty busy with school and learning the language, learning the culture, adjusting to life here. And now I've taken on this political activity with these 2 political groups. It's warm, so I'm sweating. So it's something that, and by the way, I'm just going to say this, the right-wing faction of Portugal is also gaining ground here. So the very conservative party called Chega, which is equal to MAGA. Yeah, right, maggots. So that gained a lot of ground in the last election. They gained a number, there are the planes, they gained a number of seats in the House the last election. So that's very disturbing because they're very much like MAGA. They don't want foreigners over here. They don't like, you know, when things happen, you know, your housing gets eaten up. A lot of, you know, the benefits that are public here, you have people that weren't born here, all of a sudden they're in your health clinics and using up resources there. They're using up the public services. So it's, I get the reason why, but that being said, the conservative movement over here is certainly growing. And then what else is it like to go to school here? There's cafes inside. You can, you know, we take a little break, a 20-minute break in between in that 4 hours and go get a coffee, go get something to refresh and eat, and then you go to the next professor. So you switch professors, and one half of your class goes from one professor, and they switch, and that professor switch. So they switch classes. So you have kind of like a family of 2 different sections that all get to know each other. And there's verbal presentations that you give. You have to make a slideshow and you give a presentation to class. You'll have conversation projects that you have to do. So I've also taken field trips to really cool museums here in Lisbon. So I love the program. I could be in this program 10 years and never get bored. And I've had this repeated professors over and over again, and they're like, when are you gonna graduate and move up? And I'm like, I like it so much. So I'm starting my 3rd year here at the University of Lisbon in the Instituto de Cultura e Língua Português. And so I just wanted to show you a little bit about campus, and I will show you when it's busier. One day I'll walk over here when it's, you know, there's some students in classes, and then you can see what it's like. I'm in class 4 hours a day starting October with a lot of young people in their 20s from all over the world. So, and I'll bring you more about that life in an upcoming episode. Thanks so much for tuning in to Chris D Redefined, and please hit subscribe and follow my story.